Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, we are going to be using my TBR prompt jar and my newly built TBR cart to pick the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of February. The last time that I used my TBR jar had to have been September or October, and it didn't go so well. So we're hoping that in the month of February, I'm actually going to read the books that I pick. So if you have never done the TBR prompt, it's pretty much a jar and it's full of TBR prompts or prompts in general that I have written out to kind of give me an idea of what I would like to read. There are quite a few of them, so that is what we're going to be doing. As for February, obviously, as you can see, there is really no romance books on the shelf, but don't worry, romance books will be read in the month of February. You're just going to have to stick around on my channel. Let's get started and pick our first prompt. I think I'm only going to pick around 5 books for this month because of the fact that I have a big list of books I'm reading for other vlogs. But anyways, here is our first prompt. And our first prompt is an author I've never read before. And there is a few books on here with an author I've never read. So we have Pierce Brown's Red Rising, but I might want to wait for that. I've heard a lot of people have talked about Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I think this is a super hyped fantasy. I think the book that I might want to read, one that sounded really funny to me, is Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I read the synopsis for this and it sounded something that was right up my alley. You have one of the main characters who is a struggling real estate agent and a vampire, and you have the other main character that is a medium. And he is also a fraud, apparently. This sounds just really interesting to me. I've seen quite a few people really enjoy this book. So I think for the first prompt from an author I've never read before, I'm going to be picking Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. Alright, going into book number 2. Let's see, a book with a sword on the cover. I think in here there is one. And does this one have a sword on it? No, it doesn't. Oh! The Inheritance Games has a sword on it, and this is one. Oh my gosh, do I wait for this one? I don't know. Okay. You know what? No, we're gonna do this one. So The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a trilogy that I've really wanted to pick up for quite some time, and I think that's a sword. Does that look like a sword? It looks kind of like a dagger. I mean, can we count it as a sword? I think we're gonna count it as a sword because I really want to read this. Yeah, this looks like a sword to me. We're gonna count it as a sword. Alright guys, so moving on to our third prompt here. Let's see, already so far the 2 books that I did pick have been really great. And our third prompt is an animal on the cover. So what do we have here? I think this one has a cat on the cover. So this is a Market of Dreams and Destiny. I think this is the only one that has an animal on the cover, and it's a tiny little cat, as you can see. All I know about this one is that this takes place in London in, I think, like late 1800s, early 1900s, and it takes place in a magical underground market. And that's all I know. Alright, so moving on to prompt number 4, we have a book that starts with the first letter of my name, which is a K. So the only book here that is the first letter of my name is Kingdom of the Curse by Katerina Maniscalco. I have attempted to read this second book multiple times. Not because it was bad or anything, just because I wasn't in the mood for it. However, 2024 is the year of finishing trilogies and series, so we have Kingdom of the Wicked by Katerina Maniscalco. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So currently we're at 4 books. As I said, I have multiple books that I'm planning on reading throughout the month of February for quite a few vlogs, but let's pick at least 1 or 2 more. I think that would be doable. I think I need to get a bigger jar for my hand to fit into, but it says prettiest book on your TBR. So there are quite a few. We have Foxglove. I mean, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, I've wanted to finish multiple times, but I love the look of the Daughter of the Moon Goddess. So Lady Tan's Circle of Women is also absolutely stunning. Ooh, but this one, I love the colors. So this one, and this is another historical fiction that I think is absolutely beautiful. That is Deep as the Sky, Red as the Sea by Rita Chung Epic. This is a historical fiction that follows a historical figure that I believe, if I'm correct, is a Chinese pirate queen in our history. And so I think that this sounds really interesting, really unique. This is probably one of my favorite covers currently that exists, at least on this TBR cart. So I've picked my 5 books, so to give you a recap of the books that I picked, for an author that I've never read before, I'm picking up The Masters of Death by Olive E. Blake. This just sounds really interesting to me. The characters sound very unique, and I'm kind of obsessed with this cover art here, so yes. We have The Masters of Death. And then for a book with a sword on the cover, we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is technically a dagger, but we're gonna call it a sword because of the fact that I really want to get to this and I want to read it. So, and then the next month is a book that starts with the same letter as my first name, and that is a K. So we have Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. Want to continue this? This is the second book to the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. So we have this one. Then we have a book with an animal on the cover as a prompt, and this one has a little cat right here. You can see it. I promise, it's there. And this is The Market of Dreams and Destiny by Trip Golly. And then we finally have, for our last prompt, a book with a stunning cover, and that is Deep as the Sky, Red as the Sea by Rita Chong Epig. So I feel like we have a good variety here. We have historical fiction, we have fantasy, we have The Inheritance Games, which I think is a mystery as well, and whatever The Masters of Death is, which I think is like supernatural fantasy as well. So I feel like we have a very decent pick for the month of February. Definitely let me know in the comments below if there's any books that you're really excited about reading in February, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for new videos. I post videos weekly. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!